overdosing. Like nobody was, but nobody was running around like a chicken with their head cut off because we weren't on drugs.
Hey guys.
Do you know what I mean? But that's what the altercation was.
Oh my
Because
God,
I was like, I
see. I have to
confronted his
clean
family.
this
It was actually
lens a
me.
little bit.
And I said, what the hell, guys? Like, what's going on here? Like,
So here's the deal. I didn't plan to go live, people. I was listening to Charmaine, and the whole time I'm listening to her, I'm thinking, oh my God, I want to go live right now. I want to talk about the case right now. Because I've been commenting in her chat left and right about a few things from the new Hunter S. True Crime channel. You know what I mean? Hunter S. True Crime did a compilation and put together a little bit more in terms of, is everybody all right?
Daniel told me about the fight on the first day I met him. And I also learned that his mother, Janie McKenzie, kicked Malaya's family members off the property.
Hey, just to make this very clear, this is me streaming Charmaine's channel. And if you go into her chat, I have her permission to do that. Meaning, I am streaming a stream. I did not plan for this at all because I have pre-recorded a really good video about summer wells. Something that I'm really, I can't wait to share. But hey, Jonna, hey, Sharon. Wow. Thank you so much. Thank you. Wonderful to hear you, to see you. And have you hear me? So here, wow, I'm gonna wait a little bit. Thank you guys for not forgetting about me. And I think I need to clean my lens right now. I'm gonna wait a little bit because I want you, hey Janice, Sarah, Cindy. Wow, thank you guys for being here. Listen, I'm not going to do a whole lot right now. I'm not going to do a whole lot. But when I go live, you better believe that something is going on about Jack and Lilly. Oh God, not Logan. The fuck?
So I went looking. So that was...
No comment. Logan McKenzie, no comment, people. I said what I had to say. Yes, and I take full credit for this. I am the one. I am the one. It was me. So, interesting how... Yeah, you guys are my witnesses. Hey there. Hey, Al. Okay, so YouTube changed your lot to an LOL. I know how it goes. You know what? I just realized something about myself. I was in the chat and I started to type the way I want to. And it's been years since I did that. And the reason is that I tried too hard to be, when I started to analyze and I started to write out my analyses, I became so extremely, almost anally, you know what I mean, like self-conscious about making sure everything that I do right, there is not a single mistake about anything, people. I made sure of that, but it really broke my concentration when it came to communicating online. And now I'm going to allow myself to write the way I want to, meaning I will leave out question marks, commas. I will not capitalize any kind of word, even names. Because for me, once I'm in a flow and I need to express myself, that's when the good things come out. When I worry about, how is it going to be read? What do people think about what I'm writing? Are they going to understand what I'm saying? I'm done with that. Hey, Sandra, all of you. Been a while. You know what? I have been making videos about summer verse, and I have another one pre-recorded. It's going to be 40 minutes long. I will post it later, not as a fake live, as I used to call it. A fake live would be when you pre-record something, then you premiere it, and you have a live chat. But the reality of you are seeing. So there are times I feel the need to do that. I need to isolate. I need to be in my zone, man. And boy, with Hunter from Summerverse, oh my God, guys. Oh my God. I had no idea there was so much. He knows a lot. But I don't want to give it away right now because it's going to be in my... I know a lot of people want to hear about Jack and Lilly whenever they come to me in a live chat. And so that is why right now, and again, I'm streaming. Natural reactions are the only way, GSP, the only way. If you have to think too much about something, tune out. If you are in court and somebody gives a statement and goes all over the place, tune the hell out. The truth is really, really simple. It always is. It never fails. When it gets complicated, then forget about it. Because complicating is what Durwood did. That's what Kent does. That's what... Okay, I don't even want to talk about these guys right now, but let me reset this right now. People who are not directly involved, the silence is golden. The silence is golden, people. So I do not want to, I will refer to them as certain people, I will refer to them as invaders, invading a case. People who are bystanders but become more important than they are, right? Can we agree on, I like to coin my own terms, by the way. The invaders. You don't like the fake lives? Really? Okay. I know some of you don't. Jonna, that's why I'm going to do it like that. I have pre-recorded some stuff about Summerverse, and I'm going to later publish it, but not as a live. Okay, now they're talking about Darren and Patty and who stayed. It's not important to me, you know what I mean? There's too much drama.
But even then, it have to go to family court, and he should be allowed at a minimal right now.
I
Was
don't
when
know.
the baby was
Bring you back to life?
Wait.
That
I can go-
maybe-
We weren't aware of it at the time, and the next thing we knew, it was quiet, and we get up, and I tell him, my partner Daniel, I tell him, "Do you hear the kids?" And he says, "No."
I'm going to go directly to Hunter S. True Crimes in a minute, people. But I think there's something that previously I had missed. At the end of Malaya's interview. Okay?
And it would just be nice if everyone could be alerted We thought maybe that we found tracks, but it's still uncertain. It's been raining and they're probably soaking wet, but with the sun today, I'm hopeful that they're feeling warm. We're all filled with pain and sorrow because we just want them found. We want them home. We want them found. We want them home.
Wait a minute.
Everyone loves them. They are definitely verbal, and they do have possible autism, but it's not extreme autism. It's just
Give me a second because I want to get to something right now.
they have issues with school, and they don't
Issues with school.
catch up with the other kids. I just want to remain hopeful. But there's always in a mother's mind, you're always thinking the worst. Last night was one of the worst nights because I didn't have the
And I was the first to point this out. So, now people want to take credit for it, what I said. No, I pointed this out immediately. The first day that I heard the interview. Last night was one of the worst nights. That was me. One of the worst nights. So the worst night would have been the night before, which was Thursday to Friday. From that moment, I knew Thursday night was when it all happened. Because otherwise it would, I'm not going to over-explain this.
in their beds. And I don't want to.
And I don't want to go through this again. I want to remain. Exactly. She has no hope because she knows. I want to remain hopeful. Well, no, you're not hopeful. Here we go, a little bit.
Go through that another night without them. I miss them.
I just miss them. I didn't hear this one. I don't want to go through another night without them. And then she says, I miss them. And that is something I hadn't heard before. And maybe I missed it. That at the end she said, I miss them. So yeah, and how fast people forget Meredith. All of a sudden somebody says, oh, look what I just discovered. No, I did. And only I. Give credit when due. Don't try to sell other people's findings as your own. Don't watch people who claim falsely to have discovered something when they get it from me. And especially do not send me anything from those channels. Because I recently had this discussion with somebody who usually sends me great information. But when it comes to misinformation, it is always from another channel. So make sure that you are able to hear your own mind. Make sure that whenever you share something, you are behind it. Mentally, intellectually, you have to be able to say, look, I think this is important for you to look at. I have examined it. It seems to be legit. And I want you to spend your time on it, right? Time is the most valuable thing for me right now because I am able to cover more than I was ever able. Let me read you now. Yeah, it gets worse and worse. And she is grieving. I miss them. No, people, you don't do that. You don't do that. You don't say, I miss them. That's giving up. That is absolutely giving up. You say, I'll find them. I look for them. Help me. You don't say, I miss them. That's not what you say. So I have two choices. I can go back right now here. And again, this is for the, you know what? Let me look at Hunter S. True Crime individually because I want to not use the, I think this is it, right? Hunter S. True. And thank you to Charmaine for bringing this to my attention. I was going to stream her. Maybe I will, what should I do? Stream Charmaine?
Hi, I'm Malaya. I'm
Okay.
going to start doing videos. Maybe you'd like to know more about me. Well, I'm part native, not Indian, but kind of ish. Native is like Mi'kmaq. Other things, my eyes are gray. Yeah, pretty amazing, huh? Gray eyes.
You know, this is very hard. Are you guys okay with this? There is a lot more here. There's a lot more. And it's a new compilation from Hunter S. True Crime. You guys gotta let me know what you want to hear, but I think this is, there's gonna be emo era. Yeah. Okay, let's hear.
And also, one last thing. I love listening to music.
Okay, this emo era, yes. You are so right. You are so right. It is this depressed kind of vibe, you know what I mean? This permanently depressed kind of, this loud music in the background and the hair over the eyes, like don't mess with me. And talking only about herself, right? She's not talking about any specific interest. She's only speaking about who she is. She wants to be seen. And that probably was also a very good entry point for Daniel, to know that she wants to be validated or be, you know, have Prince Charming rescue her from her boring life. You know what I mean? Take her to Fantasy Island, I mean Waterfall Island, and give her, you know, tell her any type of horse shit that she wants to hear, right? So this is actually, okay, I will play it, Meredith, and then I will get some coffee while I do that and then figure it out. Thank you for watching.
And that's basically it. So, hope you guys are like having a great day. Bye.
Bye.
Bye,
Lily is, she was my little dream girl, the first granddaughter. And I love that she had the brown hair and she had a space between her teeth, which I had when I was a kid. So yeah, she was our little princess.
We all know that cinnamon adds amazing flavor. But did you know it also helps with circulation and blood sugar balance? Now, ginger is great for digestion and easing stress on the body. But when you put the two of them together in something as simple as a tea or smoothie, they actually boost each other's effects, helping your body to keep blood sugar steadier than if you use them.
Shut the fuck up. I'm sorry, guys. Every time I get up to get some coffee or some, that's when these stupid commercials come in. I was listening to it. I was like, that's not Malaya. All right, let's go.
Jack was such a sober, serious little baby.
So this is something you may have not heard before. It's very new to me, and I guess it's Belinda speaking about, I guess it's from the interview she gave, but it's an unedited version. I don't know where they got it from. You see, these are the types of things I'm always interested in. I'm always interested in anything that I hadn't paid attention to in the past. So if somebody brings this my way, I appreciate it very, very much, because here we got something that can give us a little more of an insight. And so the moment I heard that on her channel, I was like, I gotta do this. Let's go.
That he didn't like to smile. You could tickle him. And he would look at you ever so serious, like he was really studying you. I thought they were the picture perfect family. She told me that she wasn't happy and she thinks she's going to leave. And I told her that we supported whatever she decides, that one good parent is way better than two broken ones. My son has been living here for 11 months now, and he does not have a criminal record whatsoever, and he has had nothing to do with the children for 3 years.
She is very honest, and look at the difference here between Belinda and Janie. Okay, here's somebody who's openly speaking, and she's gonna say a lot more about Cody in a minute here. And you know, she is not trying to cover anything up, because when you have two children that are missing, you don't have the desire to cover anything up. You'll be ready to, I mean, let all your skeletons out of the closet. Just help us find the children. Yes, I did this. Yes, this is what I have. Anything. You just don't care at that moment. You don't care about money. You don't care about your reputation. You don't care. You just want the missing children to be found. So you're not going to hold back, even though. Okay, I'm reading your comments. I'm not losing my track here, but let's listen more.
Him and Malaya were together for 3.5 years. Their relationship went downhill really fast after Jack was born. Malaya told me that she was not happy.
Okay, so now she's talking about Cody and Malaya's relationship to give us more of a background. So after Jack was born, Cody possibly felt overwhelmed by responsibility. That's what I'm getting out of it here.
She definitely wanted out of the relationship, and we supported her 100%. My son, I don't know if it was the pressures of trying to support a family. I'm not sure what happened, but he started drinking a lot, started doing the drugs, and in the end, he just didn't care. And she got tired of it and left. She went to court for full custody, and she went to court for child support payments.
Mm-hmm.
And he was paying child support right up until 11 months ago now, when he lost his job, lost his apartment, and lost his vehicle, and that's why he's home. Now that we have that out of the way, does it suck? Yes, it does. I make no excuses for him, but he is my son, and I love him with all my heart.
That's good. Does it suck? Yes, it does. But he is my son. I love him. This is a part they cut out of the final version of the television interview. And, the editors, I know, I mean, for a fact that this is a type of statement that actually I like to hear, right? Being open and honest about how you feel and how you see things. But I also know that when it comes to multimedia, to mainstream media broadcasting, this is exactly the stuff that they're cut out, man. Because they want to give the illusion of the perfect language used and, all of this.
I looked at the fact that when her and my son separated, my son walked away. He chose to walk away.
Right.
That she wanted sole custody of the kids. So she petitioned the courts for sole custody, and when she did that, he said he was done. Malaya, she was a sweetheart.
Hi guys, it's Malaya. It's more of like an about me video. So that, I don't know, because since I'm getting into...
Oh God, it's annoying. Do you know any people in your life who only talk about themselves? I'm sure you do. I'm sure you do. And when I do my lives, I do it very differently than when I pre-record. When I pre-record, you know, I stop things and I think about how do I say things, and I'm not doing that when I do lives, you know what I mean? But this is hard for me to listen to, believe it or not. It really is.
This YouTube thing, I just thought it'd be more appropriate to know about me. Of course, it's a
I guess 11 months before the interview, he lost his job. No, before. Cody lost his job, what, a year before the kids went missing. Right? Because that interview with Belinda was like a couple months after the kids went missing. Let's hit it.
Percheron horse, and her name is Raven. Golden Retriever dog named Kavai. I have a little Shih Tzu named Gabriella. She's really, she's
God, that lack of self-awareness, man.
something else. Horseback ride, but I had to quit because my back problems would not go away. Or even when I first rode her, when
You know what always gets me? When I'm around people like that, I'm like, does it never cross your mind you could be boring me? You know what I mean? Like, I knew people like that where I give hint after hint after hint, and nothing gets through. They will talk about themselves for hours and hours and hours and hours, man. Oh my gosh.
she was green,
Holy
I
shit.
got bucked off and forever. Now I have back.
What? First rode her when she was green, I got backed up, and forever now I have back. What? What the fuck are you talking about? Sorry, but this is live. So when I have a real life, I'm gonna.
And if I could get a husky dog, they resemble wolves, I would.
Now I'm starting to understand Daniel when he said she was yapping about trauma all the time. I mean, I'm sure she had trauma. Yeah. But, oh my God. She would drive me nuts. I would walk around with wax in my ears. Seriously.
Dance when I'm really hyper. I can get really, really hyper. And I'm just like, woo. My last thing about me.
My last thing about me. No! Stop. Tell us something that we want to know or that interests you.
I'm a Canadian. Yeah.
Great.
With AI,
You can
Ugh. Give me a second.
create any character you want in seconds.
this used to require huge Hollywood budgets.
Anytime we wanted to see the kids, she'd come by for a visit. She'd bring them by all the time. It was actually really, really good. When she broke up with Cody and was back at her mom's, it was about 6 to 7 months when she told me she's going to start dating again. And I told her I thought it was a wonderful idea. And
Okay, that's Malaya and Shara and 2 other chicks. And yes, I know this face.
and she had met somebody. She posted pictures of them. They were together only for a couple of months, and
Okay, so that was the in-between boyfriend between Cody and Daniel.
she told me that it didn't work out, that she just found him a little overbearing, and she wasn't happy with the way he was around the kids.
Got it. Good to know. So she tried another dude for a couple of months and she was not cool with him. And that's when Prince Charming came.
So that ended, and it was only about possibly a month, maybe a month and a half, when she stated she met Darren.
Darren? No, Daniel.
Or Daniel, sorry.
Yeah. You see, this is leakage right here, people. This is how powerful language is. Because at the time, I think that she was being confused by all the Darren overload. So Darren was on her mind, and she was probably thinking about, is he right? Is he just full of it? Is he trying to help? What could it be? Should I call the reservation to see if there's anything to his story? You see, that's why even when we have these accidental slips, in reality, they can reveal a lot. They can reveal what's on our minds the most. Meaning, it doesn't necessarily mean you consider somebody more important than others, but it means that whatever Darren was saying at the time was on Belinda's mind. It occupied her because it created more questions than answers. And as I said before, Malaya strikes me as somebody who kind of needs to be in a relationship, right? There are people after a failed marriage, they can be 2 or 3 years by themselves and be okay. At the time, they're only happy that, oh my God, the stress is over. I don't have to go through this at the moment. And then they feel like they recovered and say, you know what, I'm ready for something new in my life. I think Malaya was ready for something new all the time. I think she constantly looked at the outside for help. That she figured, you know what, maybe somebody will come into my life and do everything for me. Maybe somebody will come into my life who has all of the answers. And those are often the people that are very vulnerable for the wrong person to enter their lives, meaning people who tell them what they want to hear. She is extremely passive. I mean, almost in a disabled type of manner. She is so passive, and she wants somebody else to, like I say, like a Prince Charming, to come and say, hey, here I am, and you're coming with me, happily ever after. She seems to be like in this dreamy fantasy type of non-reality. And so I have no doubt it was really easy for Daniel to sweep her off her feet. He said all the wrong shit. You see the way he gives interviews, the things that he says. He, on the spot, he comes up with something, man. Even when Kiki made a statement, he didn't say, oh, okay, I'm going to go away for a little bit right now and leave everybody alone. No, he immediately had an excuse for that too. Oh, it's like a conspiracy, man. They're all trying to frame me. Right. And now I know why he's not here. I know why he took off. I'm not going to say too much about what I know, but he's taking people's advice. That's what he is doing. And he's realizing how his statements are giving himself away, believe it or not. Believe it or not. So in case you guys are wondering, how's Daniel doing? More or less all right, but he's realizing now that the kinds of analyses I do and the statements that I need more of and the questions that I have for him, well, I said something very, very openly that got back to him. Not openly, I said it in private to somebody. And he realizes that, he's starting to, Daniel, you want to take my Platts exam? I'll have you the test subject for the first one, but I need to be able to ask you 2 questions. Only 2 questions that I haven't asked you before. Anyways, just want to give you a little bit of an update. No, he's not disappearing into the ether. He's not running away. Well, he's realizing things, guys. He's recognizing.
Yeah. So. What struck me about Belinda is that she understood and described a change in Malaya that she...
You cannot see my green fan right now, right? In the recordings, in the pre-recordings, of course, you cannot see my green fan because there say hi to my green fan. I'm not using it right now. Wow, it's the little things that make life so special. Hey guys. Yeah, pledge certificate, I'm working on it. And 10 questions or 10 mini tasks. Either that or, you know what? I like the number 2. I like the doubles. So I will probably have 2 different statements, very small ones, and give people the task to examine them. Yeah, I want to keep it simple, guys. When people overdo it, when they have a long test, I don't like it. For example, if you have a math exam, and you have the same concept, 10 different questions for the same type of formula you need to apply. If you understand it, you'll get it right every single time. If you don't, you don't. I like to keep things very short. I like the number 2. So if you have whatever, trigonometry or whatever you have, I like only 2 questions. When I was an instructor in mathematics, I only asked 2 questions, right? One, to make sure you understand what you're doing or what I've been teaching. And the second one, to make sure it's not an accident. The second one, to make sure that people are not just memorizing something. And I think the same way it goes for statement analysis. Even though linguistics and mathematics are very different from each other in some ways, but I believe that real linguistics, without all of the flowery language and without all the polite additives that people use, language is actually very simple. It's only an attempt to communicate. It's the best attempt to communicate that we have. But when you get down to the basics, it is all sciences are the same. Professor Feynman said at one time, people create boxes. People create physics, biology, chemistry, mathematics, but nature doesn't know anything about that. Because in nature, everything is one. And you have to connect it. So that is a principle that I like to apply, where you don't have to think about, well, I'm a mathematician, or I am a historian, or I am a, short story writer, whatever it is. All science is nature, and it's all, there don't have to be any boxes to separate the different sciences. And statement analysis is a science. It is a science. Is it 100%? Very, very, very close. Very close to. And it's approaching the 100% mark even stronger the more you're going to learn about it. The more you're going to get into it, the more you realize, once you understand the exceptions, such as sociopathy, then it is extremely powerful. Well, I have only 2 questions for Daniel. Only 2 questions, guys. The first one is set in stone. The other one is not. But you know what? Don't know. We'll see. Let's go.
Noticed over.
So this is Daniel and Malaya when they first met, right? And yeah. You know what? Sometimes you look at a picture and you think, is it going to work out? If I looked at it back then, I would think, I don't know what I think. Let's go.
The last few years,
I thought her gift was being a mom. That I really thought that was her God-given gift, that she seemed to just breathe through it. She was actually everything.
She seemed smitten because Daniel told her what she wanted to hear.
A grandmother could want for a mom.
And he was on his best behavior.
Really?
okay.
She was an excellent mom. An excellent mom. She didn't raise her voice.
She seems very gentle, you know?
She had more patience than I had as a mom.
Wow. And so, what do you think happened?
Things started to change when she met Daniel.
Things started to change when she met Daniel. I believe it.
Okay.
That she had told us about meeting him, and that she did believe it was going somewhere. So I was happy for her. And I told her, well, as long as he makes her happy, because kids are happy if mom's happy.
Yeah.
Right. The problem is when she doesn't know what makes her happy. The problem is when she is so confused. The problem is when somebody is so confused that they will listen to anything and don't have a filter that enables them to sort of get the BS out, isolate the BS, magnify it, and make sure that whatever BS you come up with, or he comes up with, sorry, you disregard. Malaya doesn't have the filter. And I tell it, people, I say it so many times, when it comes to relationships, it is very good to apply plaids. Plaids is the best filter. She is the opposite of plaids. Malaya believes anything. You are bound to not only be disappointed, but also shocked because of the difference in which somebody may portray himself and then turn out to be later. So it's always good. And I tell people also when I counsel them, when it comes to the plaid system, it is extremely important that you understand that you never lose track of your own imperfections. Never lose track of them. Never. No matter how well things are going for you right now. Like you may be killing it in business. You may have so many people after you right now who are interested in being in a relationship with you, fighting for you, fighting over you even. You can have all of that, but never lose track of your own imperfections, because you know what? When you apply plaids, it's very dangerous to become judgmental in terms of, you know, highlighting somebody else's deficiencies, if you will. Once you are more experienced, you realize the intentions may not be bad. Somebody may use deceptive language, but that can be out of insecurity. It can also be because they were raised to use flowery language because it's polite, it's good in business, write a lot. I tell people all the time, when you write to me, do not write me long messages. Don't write me long introductions because I don't need it. To me, it actually is more likely to reveal a need to do that, where I say, okay, let me go further to see if I can trust this person or not, or if she has good intentions or so or not. It's a waste of time for me. To me, it's always the best thing to get straight to the point, unequivocally.
And we kept in communication that the kids' birthdays and Christmas, that she was staying with her grandmother at that time in Truro.
Yeah.
So we would go there.
That would be Patty, right?
To drop off the kids' birthday gifts or Christmas gifts.
Right.
And visit with them. Then we noticed that it started to change a bit.
And what kind of change did you notice in her?
So this is something I wished I had heard earlier.
She started to get distance. That the last visit she had them here, that was in the summer before Jack's birthday, so that probably would have been around July or August.
Mm-hmm.
She did make the comment that it bothered Daniel coming to visit us.
Right. It bothered Daniel. And I think that was probably when she was pregnant with Meadow. And I say it before. I said it from the very beginning. I believe the changes kicked in, and I was right about that. The changes kicked in when she was pregnant with Meadow. And I believe that's when Daniel started to show, who he is. Because he felt maybe, well, now she's with me for good. We're going to have a child together, That's exactly what I think was the beginning of the end. Before, he was fighting for her. He didn't want to lose her. Now, she was his, from his perspective.
That he assumed that she was coming so she could run into Cody. And I thought, they're only young, so we made it clear that, look, if he's got a problem, bring him too.
Yeah.
Do you think that the reason why you haven't seen him in the last 2 years is because of that?
I do feel
yes,
it's because of him. I do.
No brainer. When things change, what else changed? Well, what else changed? She got in a relationship. She's closer to him. Yeah.
She was coming all the time up until she got with him. But Malaya knew that this will always be a second home for that. They were our grandkids, so she was more than welcome here whenever she wanted to come by.
Yeah, here's the thing, man. Malaya is the opposite of Janie. And that is what draws Daniel to her. I believe that Daniel, if you ask him what's your type, he said anything but any woman that doesn't remind me of my mother. You see, now I'm almost thinking about the movie Psycho with Anthony Perkins. You know what I mean? So maybe a few years from now, if you don't see Janie for some time, oh my God, I just had this vision, man. I know there are some artists around you, but I'll get to it. I will get to it. If any of you are good with Photoshop or whatever, just Photoshop the Psycho house onto the property. Mother. Oh my God, that's a new one. That'd be good, man. I crack myself up sometimes. I don't need it right now. No, I don't need the fan. Maybe in a minute I will use it. The green fan should be in my logo too, man. Oh yeah, I'm gonna do that, man. This is oh my God. That'd be so cool. The Bates, the Martel Hotel? No, the Mackenzie Motel. I love that film too, man. I absolutely loved it. Anthony Perkins was pretty damn good, man, in this one. Yeah. It's one of those movies, even though it's been so long, so many decades ago, it holds up, dude. It really holds up. Yeah. Oh my God. I'm going to get very artistic on that one. All right, my green fan. Holy shit, man. You know, the more you see something, the more you love it. Oh my God, I see it. God. Yeah, you know, okay, when I have the Bates Motel on in Lansdowne, I'm gonna have the green fan in one of the windows. That's gotta be in there, dude. The combo must be. Yeah. And how his mother was when she was alive. She was a Janie type, right? From what I understand. I mean, you know what? I watched Psycho 2 and Psycho 3 a little bit. Just a little bit. Was there a fourth one? I don't know. There was like a made for TV that went straight to TV. The last one. That was not it was not, Psycho 2 was a huge success, by the way, financially speaking. And I had just watched it a couple of years ago for the first time ever. But they had more. I think Anthony Perkins just figured out, you know what, man, this is what I'm famous for. I might as well milk the cow till the very end, until he died from complications of AIDS, you know. 1991 or 2 or 3. I forgot. Yeah. And I think from what I recall, his mother in the movie was terrorizing him. Right? Didn't they go back in time in one of those Psycho movies and say like where she was the Janie type? Like, you're not gonna have any girlfriends. Yeah, Free Fluffy. Oh, Free Fluffy is right, man. You see, I do these. I have not a lot of videos. I have maybe 3 or 4 pre-recorded ones right now on summer wears. And one of them is really important. And I will post it later. It's not going to be with live chat. It's not going to be a premiere. I will just, here you go. You know what I mean? Just, and if any of you has the channel handy, the channel on which Hunter's father broadcasts, I rather have the original than go to Carrie Wood or some other YouTube channel that features it. I always like to have the original because I have a lot to get into and I don't want to be interrupted by somebody else interrupting. You know what I mean? It's not the same if I hear something and then every 30 seconds the person, you know, whose YouTube channel I'm watching it from starts to waffle about it. I'm not doing it anymore, people. And the most important thing that I can do is to protect my mind and protect your guys' minds. And that includes that if you are not protective of your own mind and it's filled with misinformation, I have to protect my channel from people spewing misinformation. And that's one of the most important things to be able to do in order for you to be able to recognize exactly what is important and stands out whenever it comes your way. You know what I mean, Gene?
What do you remember?
The green fan is like a stamp of authenticity. Yeah, man, you have been green fanned. That's true. Holy crap, man. You know what's so weird? I tried to hide it in the beginning because I was, and then I realized if I hide it, I have to put it in the wrong spot. If I go get coffee, it's going to be in the way and the angle isn't right for me to get, you know what I mean? So some of the best things in life happen by complete accident. Give me 1 second, guys. It's coffee time. And I'm going to continue with this from Hunter S. Hunter S. True Crime, not Hunter S. Thompson. Hunter S. True Crime. Yeah, man. I'm happy you guys are. Mommy what? Cleared? Mommy dearest, yeah. Well, mommy weakest. Mommy weakest. You know? Sure, Malaya could have been a better mother. But she's a candle in the wind. A candle in the freaking wind. What good is it if you are natural, if you allow somebody else to mess up your kids' lives? You know what I mean? And I don't know, maybe she was so angry with Cody. Maybe she felt, who knows what she felt. And I'm getting, by the way, I am in touch with the right people. Let's say it like that. I'm getting a lot more information also about her because I cannot rely on only one side. And sometimes one side is not completely truthful. Other times they are completely truthful, but they have a limited understanding, limited exposure. This is Malaya's father, Henry Brooks. And wow, I need some coffee now. You know what? These lives, they wear me the hell out, man. It's so much easier to pre-record. But there's a time for this and there's a time for that. But please make sure that when you send me something you believe in. And if you're wrong about something, it's a training tool. I love when people are wrong about something because their mind is trying hard, but there is some clutter. They're in the process of uncluttering. You can be a victim, you can be mindless, you can be a sheep, and just go with the flow of other people, right? And just adapt whatever. And there are people, believe me, there are people close to the case. Whatever they hear, whatever they heard last is what they believe, even if it completely contradicts what they had previously watched. I mean, they are jumping like kangaroos, you know, statement kangaroos. They're jumping from false analysis to false analysis, and they never get into the middle. They just hop back and forth, or statement bunnies. They hop, yeah, kangaroos is better, because I love bunnies. And you need to have some skin in the game, meaning that in order for you to be good at analyzing anything, you need to want it. You need to have the desire to figure out what happened. And that is the most important part. Without it, you know, some people, when people just play around, or they say, well, I'm bored and I like true crime and it's entertaining to me, yeah, you're not gonna get far. And so, yeah, I don't mind if I'm saying it how it is, you know, where I say, well, if I read your emails if I spend 20 minutes on your email, I may be missing something good from somebody else, right? But if you tell me you have a real thought and you are flexible, meaning you don't want to argue your theory, meaning you'll be more than happy to be wrong because it's an opportunity for you to correct something that you have gotten wrong in the past, then you're the right type of person for the progress. People that argue theories with you are the best people to stay away from, because they will spend hours, if needed, hours to argue something. And then I realized I won the argument, but what good does it do? Because that person may now not understand, but be convinced that I was right about something, but the next time something else is coming their way, they will make the same mistake again. And then they will argue again. So the best thing I can tell all of you is to keep people like that on arm's length. The moment somebody starts to argue with you about a criminal case, okay, if they are family members and they think, okay, this is a different thing, but somebody not connected with the case, you mean you come and want to argue with me because you think that Malaya did it and I'm on the right track or wrong track? Are you kidding me? Do you understand anything that I'm doing? Do you understand the difference between an analysis process and just a wild guess? Be very careful with people like that, because I appreciate real thoughts if they are your thoughts, not people who are becoming a mouthpiece for somebody else's thoughts, because that is a waste of time and that will never get you anywhere. So be careful make sure that the people that you connect with, you know, are the right ones for you, that help you, that teach you something that you are not aware of, that fill in your blanks, that say stop and correct you the moment they think that you're on the wrong track. I need these people in my life as well. The worst thing, one of the worst, you know, that as long as your intentions are right, go for it. Intentions is everything. If you apply plats, intentions is the key. By the time you get to the intentions and they reveal themselves, everything else will fall into place. When you see that the intention is to sidetrack. And that is what with Durwood, immediately, there were so many giveaways in his beginning sentences, and I realized I'm not going to pay any attention to him. Sherwood, the same, right? Sherwood Folio, or Sherwood O Folio. But I'm not going to go into his Facebook statements, guys, even though some of you have sent them to me. If he has another video where he's doing his fake crying and talking about, at least I can goof on him. I have two chances. I either goof on him or I ignore him, hoping he will go away. But that will never happen. The dumber it is, the more attention it will get. So I will not, I will I will at least have some fun with it here. You know, late night fun with Sherwood Folio. So if Sherwood Folio has another video, I'd be so happy to support it. I'd be so happy to, yeah. no matter how stupid it is. You know, the right comic relief is always appreciated. Okay, let's keep going. Oh my God.
What about the kids?
Kids, they're happy.
Yeah.
Very happy.
Yeah.
Yes. Every time I seen them, they always lived at their grandmother's in
Truro.
Truro.
I got you. Okay.
Yeah. Well, at their great grandmother.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That Patty Curtis. That's where I used to go visit.
Okay.
Yeah.
What?
Until this guy moved him away from that.
Okay, Daniel, until this guy moved them away.
But that was the last time I seen them.
When's the last time that you got to see Lily and Jeff?
I seen Lily last year when she brought her up here. That's the last time I seen Lily.
Connie Brooks told us some interesting information. Malaya had been there to get her status card updated, so she is a member of the First Nation. And she visited her grandmother and other relatives, and her grandmother asked her about her relationship with Daniel Martel.
She don't know, but I asked her, did he hurt you? She didn't really say he hurt her, but he held her down. He held her down and took her phone on her, and she couldn't talk. She couldn't allow to use the phone.
So I believe that the reason Malaya admitted to this on Sunny's channel, I believe the reason for that is because she had already told her grandmother that. And she knew the cat was out of the bag. So she didn't want to admit to further abuse. But she figured, I'm going to mention this because, you know, it's already out there. He was having her, I don't know. Okay, you can read yourself, right? Can you see it? He was having her scared. I don't know what you call it, scared. She couldn't go. Okay. Connie? She couldn't go. Well, give me 1 second, guys. Oh my God. It is scary how relaxed I'm becoming with these lives, man. Seriously. Before my first laugh, I was like, oh my God, I'm not ready. I cannot do it. Oh my God, what if something goes wrong? And now, see, yeah, it's really weird, man. Really weird. But yeah, I had a bunch of tea bags in my hot water maker, and I had to clear that out before I got some coffee. Just to give you, you know, it's not an excuse, it's a reason actually. Okay, so who's Connie? Tell me, who's Connie, people? Sandra. Let's keep going. When she asked her granddaughter about rug use in the home, she said Malaya told her that Daniel concealed a rug addiction for nearly the first year of their relationship. Like I said, the moment that she was pregnant with Meadow, Daniel was the real Daniel. Daniel became the real Daniel. Before that, he was terrified of her leaving any time. I can guarantee you that. From her language, from his language, I mean. Before that, the moment she was pregnant with Meadow, he felt like he had ownership of her. And she wouldn't leave him. Because that would break her, having gone through what she gone through with Cody. And I believe she took it really hard. And having that happen again, that now she has another child and things go wrong with the father, I think that Malaya wanted to make it work. And Daniel knew exactly what she was like. And he knew and realized, maybe not in the beginning, he was maybe not sure. But when she found out he was doing rugs, guess what? He realized that she was very weak. That she didn't have the strength to leave or, you know, stand up for her kids or herself. And I always say, you know, man, that, you know, it's a very, very bad thing. Certain types of guys, they need somebody to tell them what not to do. Let me say it like that. A guy who grew up with somebody like Janie is not going to listen to somebody like Malaya. Because the language he's used to is from a woman that is, you know, a lot stronger. Maybe even violently strong in some regards. So Malaya had no chance. And Daniel could play her like a fiddle. And he had complete control, at least for a little bit, until the RCMP was there and Cindy was there. And all of a sudden, he lost control over her.
Certainly the Mi'kmaq community has been involved in the search and providing legal assistance to their mother, so it is a part of the story. We learned through our reporting that Nova Scotia's Child Protection Office had been contacted by the kids' school out of concern about the way they were showing up at school. We don't know the specific details of what the concern was that prompted that call, but we do know that that caused a child protection worker to go to the children's house and interview their parents, and this was in the months before their disappearance.
The CPS went to their house in December, and they should have took the CPS. Look at the look of the house. Yeah, they get the locks on the door, and the boy being there, this and that. But why?
The boy beat her, this and that. I believe Wade completely. Wade is reliable. Is it possible that he could have gotten something wrong? Yes. He doesn't get all of the information from Cindy. And I believe she is withholding essential knowledge. I believe she knows a lot more. Let's say it like that. Yep, that's what I believe. And I know. But the things that he tells us are things that he overheard or was told. So I don't care about the dirty diapers in the basement when she was with Cody. I don't care about these types of things. I don't get hung up over it, period. But when he said the boy beat her and is referring to Daniel, I believe you. I do believe you. I do believe that that is exactly what Malaya, that what Cindy told him.
She's staying there. You know, she could have went to her grandmother's in Bobville. You know how many times we tried?
She could have went to her grandmother's. Yeah, but grandma said, look, you're not going to sit on your ass all day and play on your phone. You're going to get a damn job. You're going to go back to school. You're not going to sit around all day. But she didn't want that. You see? She was a magnet for bullshit, people. Her attitude made her a magnet for the wrong people in her life, period. And I said it before, when Malaya said she wants the funds from the fundraising in her friend's account, I believe that was her friend Cheryl's idea. I don't believe Malaya has any type of ideas. I believe she goes with everybody's flow. Everybody else's. And you see, if you don't want to do nothing and just sit around all day, yeah, a guy like Daniel comes and, hey, baby, no, I'm secretly rich and I will spoil you and I have the Lansdowne Castle and you don't have to do anything. Just be there, just sit around. I mean, I don't understand this type of mindset at all. And I think Malaya, if anybody could be any more different from me, you know, she would fall into that category. Doing nothing is the hardest thing in the world. To me. I need to be busy. I need to have something that I'm interested in. I couldn't sit around all day doing nothing and watching life pass me by. But some people can. And some of you have told me, well, if you have depression or that adds, yeah, I understand, I get it. Lansdowne Castle.
She was at their grandmother's before they went there. Dan and her. He got 2 from a previous marriage. And those 2 that are missing are hers. Then they got the little girl together.
The little snitches? I'm kidding. Those are to be the kids that told on him.
And he didn't like her kids at all.
He didn't like her kids at all. And here's my fan. That's true.
But she said they beat them all.
My dad can't.
Wait. I need to see if I missed something. I'm not sure.
Then they got the little girl together. And he didn't like her kids at all. But she said they beat them all.
I was looking through the Facebook page of the children's school to understand what their school life was like. I was really just curious about the types of things they did at school and, what their lives were like there.
Jack and Lily's teacher later told RCMP she had never met Malaya. I believe it. I believe it. I bet she met Daniel. That's why Daniel keeps talking about, why are you looking at me? Look at Malaya. Well, there are different reasons why I'm looking at you. Very different reasons. Not because of this. I think I made it very clear many, many times.
And I came across a photo of Jack with a black eye. And so that photo was dated December 13th, 2024. It was 5 months before he and Lilly disappeared. I asked Daniel how Jack received the black eye in December, and he didn't respond. But in private Facebook
And Daniel, you're welcome.
messages that were shared with me, he acknowledged that Jack had many black eyes. He said Lilly even had a black eye when Jack...
How dumb is this, man? How dumb is it to say he had many black eyes? Normalizing it and saying, well, this was just one of many. Why are you worried about this one?
And Lilly disappeared from an...
That's even dumber, because that indicates to me that you were so angry, possibly at that time, that now even Lilly got in the black eye. What a coincidence, right? The day she disappeared, she had a black eye. Are you kidding me, dude? Are you kidding me? Yes, he said this. He really did. He really, really, really did, people.
Incident that happened on May 1st, the day before the children went missing. He said a Tonka truck that she pushed down on swung up and hit her in the face.
But the most of the black eyes were probably from Lilly because, and I don't want to say...
Listen to this one. Most of the black eyes were probably from Lilly. Because, and I don't want to say 100% because Jack, I know you don't, was really clumsy too. When we used to take him into the woods, he would fall a lot. Most of the black eyes, how many black eyes did he have? Yes, he's saying it. Probably, yeah.
100%, because Jack was really clumsy too. Like when we used to take him through the woods, he'd fall a lot. I remember one time too, Jack ran right into the doorknob.
Okay, so in this statement, you see Jack ran right into the doorknob. I bet that didn't give him a black eye, though.
On the door. They would throw stuff at each other. They were quite aggressive toward each other.
Yeah, I believe they had those moments, but they had also you as an example.
Now, the house like that, I'm checking to see if there's food in the fridge. I'm checking.
With a house like that, I'm checking to see if there's food in the fridge. That's Wade.
Yeah. See if there's locks on it. It's just that to use the lock. And
Daniel's daughter.
His daughter, she's like 8 or 9. Her name was Rain. She said, Malaya locked him in the room.
Malaya locked him in the room. I do believe that too. Daniel's daughter, she's like 8 or 9. She said Malaya locked him in the room. I do believe that. I do believe that Jack and Lilly were a nuisance to them. They wanted them quiet. They wanted them out of the way many times. I do believe that, locking them up. And again, Kiki, got that from her father, that Daniel would put Jack in his car seat into a closet and I do believe that there were many times where they locked them away so they wouldn't irritate Fluffy or get Fluffy to bark. Wow. What reason does Wade have to lie? What reason does Wade have?
No, but she didn't care. She didn't care. She'd bring them over and clothes her.
She'd bring them over, their clothes filthy, their faces. She wasn't brought up like that. Yeah, Malaya did not care.
Fucking filthy, dude. Was she always like this? Yeah. Or you wasn't brought up like that. CPS should have took the kids out. This was in December.
CPS should have took the kids out. This was in December. That's Wade. That's Wade, people. Yeah.
And plus, why would you stay there? If someone's beating my kids, I'm breaking their fucking legs. Exactly. And 3 months ago, we told her, before that happened, I'll say 3 months before May, we had the U-Haul truck to move her back to her grandmother's house. We had a big house by Redcliffe and Dottle Hill. The day before, no, I'm not moving. Yeah. Why do you want to stay here? There's rats in the wall. Exactly. I think that's what many times.
เพื่อนๆที่มีความสูงไม่ถึง
Seeing the condition of the home, it was like the total opposite of what I knew of Malaya. She was always clean, very clean about herself, about the kids, about her home. This home looked more like a camp, but it was very unkempt. I was pretty surprised. And I went in to see Malaya again. I assumed she was in shock. She was very, very non-emotional. very just flat monotone. But Malaya is very soft spoken anyway. That she's not usually excitable.
May 2, 2025 at 6:15 a.m. Malaya Mark. We know about this, right? Can you see? That morning, Malaya messaged Belinda. I never thought they would run off on me like that. On me. On me. They would run off on me. Interesting language. Let's see what you guys take away from this. Let me know right now. Okay, let's change my whole concept here. Rather than me, if I'm live, rather than me pointing anything out, let me see what you notice in this sentence right away. That morning, Malaya messaged Belinda, and this is, let's assume this is word for word, verbatim, okay? Which I believe it is. I never thought they would run off on me like that, she wrote. I'm so distraught. What do you recognize in this particular statement, guys? The coffee is wearing off, so now I'm done talking. This is when you guys take over. And I want to see how you, yep, like that, exactly, like that. Like what? Like what? Why do you assume that I know? And what makes you think that you know? I think Janie was probably the first one to say, I'm not gonna go along with this. It makes no sense for them to walk off like that. But Malaya, let me say it like this. Janie is a lot smarter than Malaya. I'm not saying she's smart. I'm saying that I believe, Janie, I believe there are several times that Janie put her foot down and says, I'm not going along with it. This is too stupid. You know, when Darren suggested that she says, she heard somebody say, shh, I believe she went along with it in the beginning and then says, no, this is too stupid. People are not going to believe that. You know what I mean? Let me see your comment. They would run off on Daniel or Janie, but not her. Yep. On me. On me. On me. Priority. I want to make sure that you guys share what you're getting out of this. This stands out. The priority is me. Why me? Poor me. Who's the victim? Me. I am so distraught. Nothing about how Jack and Lilly may be feeling right now. Nothing. Priority is me and only me. It's also victim blaming. They ran off on me. They went against me. Jack and Lilly did something to me. Anything else? She excluded herself as bad parent. Yeah, exactly. The others are bad parents, but me? No. You see, just because you were not the one beating them doesn't mean that you were good as a parent, because if you didn't protect them, you were the enabler. You are the one who could have put an end to all of this. You could have ended their misery at any given time. Malaya has no creativity, zero. And I'll tell you in a minute why I'm mentioning this. So when you look at her videos, she has zero ideas what to talk about except, well, hi, I'm 18. I like music. I'm part native. I have whatever. It's just blah, 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 blah. Only about her. She has zero creativity. But you know what? This lack of creativity, the people who are most capable of conforming to anybody else's idea of what they should be doing are the non-creative people. The non-creative ones are the perfect sheep and the perfect followers. The non-creative people are the ones who stick with the script until the moment they can no longer speak. They will go with it and run with it to the T. And Daniel is a lot brighter than her. And he is a lot brighter, actually, than in the beginning he may have, made people think. And I always said he has a ton of potential. He grew up like a dumbass. He grew up in a way that really, really, really paved the road ahead of him as the dumbass highway. Can't spell versus shit. But you know what? I believe, and I've learned this, and I'm not giving more details here, but I have learned recently just how capable of learning he actually is. But that was never a priority in his life, you know? It was not the priority of his parents either. He could have turned out a lot better. And I say that again and again and again and again. He is not a Chris Proudfoot. He's not born to be stupid. He became stupid. Chris Proudfoot is born to be stupid. Daniel Martel, no. He became, he became conditioned to, he was dumbed down by the life around him. He's very capable of learning, actually. That morning, Malaya messaged Belinda, are we done with this yet? Or is there anything else that you notice? And also, the being locked up part can be what's entering her mind. When I don't lock them up, they run off. And running off indicates a desire to be away from somebody. But why from me? And why would they feel the need to escape? That is the other question. What else was done to them? Yeah. Janie at least protected. Okay, one more. Guys, you know what? I think I'm freaking done with this for now. I can go play Janie's Got a Rake one more time and then call it a night. Unless you see more that you want to point out. Know what? What is no referring to? Clarify, please. Let me see. Tell me more. I'll be back, guys. Please leave me the comments and let me know what I've been missing. And tomorrow, the same time, I'll be back. Okay, guys? Do I need to find Janie's Got a Rake? I think so. Give me a second, okay? Give me 1 second. Let me figure something out. Okay. I want to leave it with Janie's Got it. No, we don't have to leave it with that. Have a good night, people. Please, here's your homework for next time. Watch. Okay, stay tuned for my post. I will make a post and post a statement or 2 different statements. And this will be a practice run to analyze both of them. Okay. Until next time.